Rahmanir-Rahim. Dear class, Assalamu alaikum. Today's lecture topic is dactylography or study of fingerprints. So I am discussing or taking up this lecture in the continuity of congenital features of general parameters of identity. The first congenital feature I discussed was anthropometry in last lecture, and dactylography is the second one. So other two are congenital malformations and DNA typing. So DNA typing will also be discussed along with dactylography today. Now this is, as you know, study of fingerprints, and fingerprint is an impression made by the ball of a finger. So first it was discovered or described by Mr. Pervez, a known physiologist, in 1823, giving the first classification of fingerprints. Then in 1885, Henry Ford's, Scottish physician, emphasized the importance of skin ridges in identification. Then in 1892, FrancisGalton produced proper scientific work, or you can say systematized or organized dactylography. So it's also called Galton's system, and it was further improved and elaborated by Edward Henry later. So these names and years are important for MCQ purpose. Now, what is principle of dactylography? It is skin of balls of fingers and thumbs is covered with characteristic ridges and grooves, pattern of which varies between persons and makes absolute or complete identification possible. So the important words in this are ridges and grooves, and this जिसको हम उर्दू में कहते हैं हाथ की लकीरें, उंगलियों की लकीरें. So you can see these ridges and grooves, everyone can see on his or her fingers, and they are unique, and everybody knows about it that they are unique for everyone. So that makes this dactylography a very surest, reliable method for complete identity. Coming to ridges, what are important features? First, I would like to show you some pics of ridges. You can see ridges here, here, this one. So what are features? Number one, they are present from birth to death on dermis and epidermis. So they are present throughout life. So that means they are valid and they don't change, and they remain the same. So you can identify a person on the basis of these ridges from birth till death. So they remain constant, as I told you, and don't change. They form patterns that are absolutely individual or unique, not even same even in identical twins. So that is great characteristic. Identical twins can also be separated by presence of these unique different ridges. Now chances of matching two persons prints are 1 in 64 billion. So still the world population is about 7 billion. So there will be no two persons in the world who have the same type of prints. So these features are sufficient to prove that dactylography is the most reliable and accurate method to determine identity. So this is the importance of ridges, why they are used for identification. So there are few types of ridges. There are 4 types. Number 1 arch, number 2 loop, number 3 whorl, number 4 composite. So arch pattern, this one is arch. You can see it looks like an arch. It's elevated in the center and coming down on sides like an arch. So arch pattern is seen in 6 to 7% of world population. Ridges are arch-like, run from one side of print to the other side. They terminate at sides, don't make backward turn. So they just simply on sides they end. There is no other shape or turn or angle or something. Number 2 is loop pattern. This is most common pattern. So the question can be, MCQ can be asked which one is the most common pattern of ridges. So you will answer loop. That is the correct answer. So ridges in the center of print arrange like hairpin and ends slant downward. So you can see here loop pattern. Whorl, number 3 whorl, this is seen in 25% population of the world. Here the design of ridge is circular and it takes clockwise or anti-clockwise turn. This is whorl. Whorl in Urdu is called bhavar. So you can see it is like a bhavar. Number 4 composite. This is very rare, seen in 1 to 2% population. So the rarest type of ridge is composite and most common is loop. It has all 3 types with variable combinations. As its name suggests, it's combination of all 3 above 3 ridges. After that, we come to practical application of dactylography. That means where it is used, how it is used, why it is used. Or here, this you can see importance of dactylography. Also, you can add to other importance like its characteristics. Before I told you uniqueness. Along with that, its use is also its importance, tells you how important this is. So The situations where dactylography can be used is number one, recognition of impressions at the scene of crime. This is perhaps most important use as far as crimes are concerned, because every day, everywhere in the world, criminals are busy doing their work, robbing, stealing, raping, damaging others' life and property. So, but every criminal leaves some clue at the scene of crime. If he is or she is using hands and is not wearing gloves, so what will happen? They will do something, they will, wherever they will place their hand on the body of victim or on the scene of crime or on some weapon, when they will use some weapon, so their fingerprints will be there on the weapon, on the scene of crime, on the body of the victim, and they are invisible to naked eye. But there are special techniques and chemicals, and police is trained to collect those impressions from scene of crime, from doorknobs, from windows, from cupboards, from anywhere wherever the accused or criminal has placed his or her hands. Number two, identification of weapon used. Now, sometimes the criminals run away and they may leave the weapon, they may drop the weapon there around. So when police collects that weapon, they can take the fingerprint impressions of the suspected and they can match with their record. They have criminal records, their fingerprint patterns are saved, so they can match, and usually the criminal is from same area or community and he is habitual, he may be caught. So this was second use. Third use is identification of habitual criminals. Again same by their record which police has. Amnesic people, those who have amnesia, they don't know anything about themselves. Unconscious people and those who are dead after an accident. But all this identification is only possible if police or government has their prints already stored, their data, their data is stored, then these cases, in these situations, their prints will be collected and matched to that data and identity will be determined. Identification of decomposed or mummified bodies. Yes, even decomposed bodies, the prints are visible. Sometimes they become more prominent, and so they can be taken and matched with anti-mortem data. Prevention of impersonation. So when someone else, a criminal who is not who commits a crime, but he may be a twin, or he may escape from suspicion because the other person like him may be suspected, but the real culprit can also be caught from study of prints. In civil law, or in financial matters, it is the prints are taken as extra precaution on checks and legal documents. Usually these days, although signatures are important, but they may be fake or they may be copied, but fingerprints are unique, so they are taken on important legal documents or financial matters. So these are some examples of use or application of dactylography. Now what are advantages of dactylography, or again importance? Because of its advantage, it is most important method. So it's applicable to persons of all ages, which I have already told you in the beginning. Prints can be obtained even from putrefied bodies. Yes, this is quite possible. Absolute identification is possible. Yes, absolute or complete identification is very difficult to determine in doubtful cases, unknown bodies, putrefied bodies, but because this dactylography makes it easy. No specific training, experience or instrument is required, so it's very simple, easy to take prints, which I will tell you, and not much experience or instrument is required. Anybody can learn it. Number 5, actual print is always available to compare with suspected ones. Yes, because of the data with police or government, they can be matched with each other and identity of the criminal can be determined. So number 6, prints can be transmitted from one place to another on computer by automated fingerprint identification system, AFIS. This allows rapid entry, comparison and identification in minutes to hours as compared to weeks to months in manual methods. Before the introduction of computer, the prints were always matched or transferred manually from one place to another. Suppose if a criminal has committed a crime and has run away to some far areas, then it was problem to trace and to locate and to send prints. It used to take much time. But with computer and internet, it's so easy, it can be done quickly. Prints can be preserved for very long time, so it's not it doesn't take much time to they don't get damaged or destroyed, and they are preserved, so they are available for a long time. So these 7 points are advantages and importance of dactylography. Now, how we record, how we take prints. So, and where we take prints, like routinely taken on arrest of accused. When we take, the situations when we take, our police takes prints are on arrest of accused. So as long as police arrest suspected person or accused, they will take his print or her prints. At joining of employment by the employer, attendance of students, like we can see here, attendance of staff can be done, and students was also done physically, we have been doing here, and employees while getting identity card, applying for identity card, everyone has to give his thumb impression, and passport and other places wherever they are required. Now how they are recorded or taken, there are two methods, plain method and rolled method. So everyone has the experience, I think, that his or her prints have been recorded in some way or the other, in bank or ID card or somewhere. So what happens in plain method, it is obtained by lightly pressing inked surface of tip of finger or thumb directly on paper. So you put your thumb or finger on a stamp pad which has ink, and then you put your finger or thumb on the paper or document where it is required, and that's all. Now what is rolled method? So this is a variation of plain method. So sometime it is asked to roll inked finger or thumb from side to side to make it a complete impression. So these two methods are used, plain method and rolled method. So it's very simple. Recording of print is a very simple process. Now how we can take print of dead body? Now fingers and hands of criminals are cut at autopsy. So it may become difficult to take the prints because of post-mortem drying and hardening. So Vaseline or oil is applied on prints to make it soft and then boiled in saline to restore contours, and then they can be collected. Now how we can take print from crime scenes? So as I told you before, prints take on paper, wood and cloth can be developed by treating with 5% AgNO3 solution, silver nitrate solution, and then fixing with sodium thiosulfate. In that way those prints will be visible and developed. So that was about dactylography. Next, most reliable and surest method of identity is DNA profiling or DNA fingerprinting or typing. So I will not go into details. It's very specialized technique, but just briefly will tell you the importance and principle and some method. So the principle of this DNA test is the structure of each person's DNA is unique with the exception of identical twins. Samples must contain nucleated cells. That means we need very minute sample, trace evidence, which is called trace evidence. Even trace evidence is enough, like and cells must be nucleated, like leucocytes, semen cells, brain cells, bone marrow cells, muscle cells, skin cells, teeth cells or teeth, hair with root sheeth cells. So complete hair and dried stains, blood stain or stains of semen, etc. So what is actually done is matching. Matching is done. Identity of a criminal is determined by comparing the accused man's DNA profile with a biological item, that is blood or semen stain found at the scene of crime. and it is absolute. So how a criminal involved in that particular crime is identified is that DNA profile of many suspected people is available with police, and then the biological item or the specimen found at the scene of crime, whatever it is, on the body of victim usually or around body of victim is collected, like blood or semen stain, and then it is matched with that data of suspected criminals. So that was done like in Zainab rape case and other rape cases where suspect person was unknown. So the data of DNA of a whole population was collected. They were considered suspects, all the young people around that area. Their DNA profile or data was already present with police, and the suspect and the material found at scene of crime was matched, and one person was identified, and so he was caught and hanged. So this diagrams gives you 6 steps. The process of DNA fingerprinting. It's usually a question is not asked on process. It's just to give you some idea. Number 1, the process begins with a blood or cell sample from which the DNA is extracted. So first step is extraction of DNA from the sample. Then DNA is out into fragments using a restriction enzyme. The fragments are then separated into bands by electrophoresis through an agarose gel. Number 3, the DNA band pattern is transferred to a nylon membrane. Number 4, a red DNA probe, isoactive DNA probe is introduced. The DNA probe binds to specific DNA sequences on the nylon membrane. So DNA sequences on nylon membrane, and then a probe is introduced which binds to specific DNA sequence. The excess probe material is washed away, leaving the unique DNA band patterns. So only the unique DNA band patterns are collected, which are specific for that sample only. The radioactive DNA pattern is transferred to X-ray film by direct exposure. So this pattern is then X-ray is taken of this pattern. When developed, the resultant visible pattern is the DNA fingerprint. So this last number 6, you can see a pattern is visible. This is unique DNA pattern of that suspect or criminal. So next, what is the medicolegal importance of DNA fingerprinting, or what is forensic application of DNA, how it is used? The question was asked, what is the forensic application? So that means importance in law. So this DNA test is done in cases of physical assault where the offender runs away, is unknown, is not found easily. So DNA test can be done and determined his identity, then he may be traced. In cases of sexual assault or rape, as I gave you example of Zainab case and other cases, Number 3, for determination of sex, as while we were discussing sex in parameters, I told you that there are some normal cases or clear cases, then there are doubtful or difficult cases to determine the sex. So their nuclear sexing is done and DNA test can help. Now in paternity disputes of babies, a woman may get divorced from one husband and marriage to another, and both fathers claim to be father of that baby. So how can this dispute sorted out or confirmed who is the real father by DNA test? For immigration purpose to any country, they may require, if you get immigration for another country, they may require they may do DNA test to confirm your identity. Next, linking body parts in mass disasters. So what are mass disasters? Airplane crashes, railway accidents, ship drowning, earthquakes. So all in these cases, body parts may not found together, especially in air crashes and earthquakes. So what can be done? Different body parts, to link them together to identify one person. So this DNA is a good or surest method. There you don't have any, maybe you don't find any fingerprints or any other test is not possible other than DNA. Baby mix-up in maternity wards, newborn babies, they all look like the same. So someone can interchange them, and in case of doubt or suspicion, DNA test will confirm. Now, identity of the person with memory loss, amnesia, it can be real amnesia or it can be pretended by someone, or any spies in other countries. They don't disclose their identity and DNA test can determine it. So these are some of the examples of application of DNA test or its medicolegal importance. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.